snake made of poopy?
Yes. See, that tongue is awesome.
That tongue is pretty cool. What?
Come here. Look, it's Andrea.
Oh, Andrea is here.
Friends, like friends.
Yep, there she is.
I already spotted her.
Legoland specifically so that Jacob could go see Ninjago. And what happened?
It's time. It's closed.
Buddy, I'm so sorry.
Look at the spider by bottom.
I'm so sorry, Jacob.
Those doors, press the button on the side if you're ready to move fire. Big honk, that big honk.
They've all made it down there except for our family that's in the police car.
Keep going.
We can't figure it out. Now they're going.
Once they go down to your building, make.
Now they gotta put out their fire.
Hold on, don't come back in, not yet, everyone, not yet, guys.
He's making them all wait so that they can do the water. That's hilarious. Okay, a quick review of Legoland versus Disneyland. I am not kidding, I will never come to Legoland again. Rides like this. I mean, literally, the boat is like not moving at all. They won't even let us take Autumn on. She's 33 inches. It requires it to be 34. There's other rides that are literally like this, and they won't let us take them on. It's just insane to me because I can take Autumn on all sorts of rides that are at Disneyland that are like less than this or faster than this, and they don't seem to have a problem. So, review, I'm not a fan of Legoland. Really? Really? Okay. So, you just watched the clip of me giving what Jeff calls a really hard, I can't do this with you like that. With Jeff says I'm being very harsh about Legoland. And so we thought we would sit here and clarify for you guys why we hate Legoland or why I was so harsh. I am a mother of 5 children. When I go to places and spend over $400, and that's with 2 kids getting in free, not to mention another $25 for parking, plus you have to eat there.
I forgot about parking.
Yeah. So when you spend that much, and that is for one day.
And the food was way expensive and not any good.
Yeah. But regardless, when you spend that much money, You want to make sure that all of the members of your family can have fun and enjoy themselves.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Otherwise, why go? I mean, if you have older kids and that's all you have, great. Legoland might be a place that you guys really enjoy. However, for me, who have children between the ages of, well, how old was Liberty at that time?
6, 7 months.
6 months. So when you have a child from 6 months, not that she really counts, but 6 months up to, actually she does count, and I'll tell you why. When you have a child from 6 months and then up to 9 years old, you want to make sure that you can entertain all of them. And that it's, because otherwise it's miserable for the little ones, and it's miserable for you as a parent because you've got a kid that's upset because they can't do anything. So poor Autumn spent the entire day wandering around, not being told that she couldn't go, or not being told.
Being told.
Being told that she couldn't go on anything as she watched her brother and sister run off to go see everything. And there wasn't even anything really for them to do. There was a couple of things, but they were also way out of the way from where the big rides were. So you had to like walk really far to get to them. So I am not a fan of Legoland as far as if you have kids of varying ages. Let me put it that way. Autumn was able to do 3 rides. 3 total. One was a submarine ride.
They've been on the earth longer than dinosaurs. Cool, right? I'm sure they do.
Daddy, donation!
Where do you see it, Autumn?
Daddy, bring a shark!
Shipwreck.
Daddy, donation!
Another was a big family boat ride that was where you just kind of go around and see like all these different Legoland building things that they had built. And then another one was like a little tiny fairy tale boat ride. Again.
I don't remember that one.
And what's funny is the little tiny fairy tale boat ride was no different than the one that I just showed you where I gave a really bad review for it. It was like the same boat and a parent was able to go on it too with her. So it doesn't really make sense to me why she could do one and not the other. Anyways, the reason I say this is I am a big Disneyland fan. And when we go to Disneyland, what we notice is our 2-year-old can go on lots of rides, and not just the ones at Fantasyland. Disneyland has placed things around all the big rides for toddlers to do. So there's always a smaller ride that a toddler can do, and that's still fun for a parent, because who wants to go on a bunch of toddler rides that aren't fun for a parent too? So they're still fun for a parent, or at least enjoyable, and the kids can do, or there's characters around each one of the bigger rides, or they have like some kind of, what was that one thing around the, over in Tomorrowland, that big ball thing that like has water around it and you push it or whatever. So anyway, they strategically, Disneyland, and I didn't realize this when I was a younger 20-year-old or even teenager that went, but now that I'm a parent of kids with varying ages, I realize that they have strategically placed all of these smaller rides or smaller things to do around the bigger rides so that everyone can feel included. So it made Disneyland is just much easier. But the other thing is Disneyland has lots of rides that I felt like were faster and more complex or more whatever than some of the rides at Legoland that they kept saying no to. So I was highly disappointed, especially when you're spending like $500 a day and not all of your kids can do everything. It was annoying for me as a parent. He won't talk about it, which is why he's so silent right now, because I had to use the word $500 in one day. Which, by the way, he was really grumpy about pretty much that entire day. And then, to top it off, when we found out that Autumn couldn't ride anything, it just made him that much more upset.
I wasn't just because of that, but they had closed the
Ninjago.
The Ninjago Lego.
Yeah, Jacob was so
area,
sad.
And that was the main reason why we wanted to go, was so that he could see his Ninjago guys. And
True.
It was closed. I was so pissed. I was ready to even before I entered the park, I was ready to leave. And then when we paid and we got in and that area was closed, I was like, can we just go get our money back? If we could have, I would have.
Like, we've only been here like 10 minutes. Can we just go? Anyways, so if there are some of you out there that enjoy Legoland, I think that's great. That's, you know, fine. But if I had to give my review for the amount of money that it was and for a mom of kids with varying ages, I absolutely say no way. I feel like Legoland could have done way better, or at least been more lenient on some of the rides, because I kid you not, Disneyland has some of the very exact same rides or very similar, and I can even bring Liberty, our youngest 6-month-old, onto them, which is funny when you see the baby on one and she could barely even sit up, and they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead and bring her on this ride. They're like, just have her sit up. She has to sit next to you. She can't sit in your lap. Like, she couldn't even be strapped
In the seatbelt.
Strapped to Jeff's chest, like, you know, like there's strapped to her chest, which we felt would have been safer, but she actually had to be sitting on her own bottom. So Jeff's putting this baby up and she like can barely sit up on her own at this point, and he's putting her next to her. But you know what? Hey, Disneyland let her ride. And I thought anyway, that's all I'm saying. So for me, the amount of money was definitely not worth it. Legoland, a big thumbs down. Big thumbs down.
Boo.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. If any of you love it, sorry. It was not worth it to us. I thought I would give you a visual so you can see what I mean by the rides. And this is just rides. This does not include any other kind of attractions or like shows, which are my personal favorite at Disneyland. I love the shows. They're family oriented and everyone in the family enjoys them. Shows like these. Here's an example of what I mean. When I'm looking at this, you guys can see on the left side is Legoland. Most of the rides there are all listed in red. There are only 4 in green that are toddlers and or babies can go on. And I do mean babies like 6 months and older, like Liberty. And on the right side is Disneyland and California Adventure. Granted, they do have way more rides because they are a bigger park. However, as you can see, the ratio is that there are far more green than there is red. And when I list them in green, it means that a baby, newborn baby, if needs be, could even go on the ride as well. So that's what I love about Disneyland versus Legoland. And if you're going to spend $500 a day, which park would you rather go to? One that the entire family can enjoy, or one that only a few of your older children can enjoy?